Quick here and like Juniata and Perry. Anyway, up there it is. All right. Welcome to Coming Out with Cannabis with your host, Christina, D'Arcangelo Pooler, and Wayne Kelly. Today we're talking to Devin Bridgeman. He is the founder of Pennsylvania Cannabis Connection, or PACC. We see you all over the place, brother. You're doing great things. We'll get into that very soon. But first, CDP.
Good morning, all. It is still morning here, and it probably looks like it's nighttime because it's so dark here because of our shitty weather again. I don't know if Bruce is with you, but our bad weather.
The S word right away.
We were just complaining about. I mean, Devin has a sweatshirt on, for God's sakes. It's June 13th. I mean, I should probably put a sweatshirt on. I'm cold.
We're in jackets in the evening. That's the truth. Anyway.
It'd be one thing if it was Bay Area weather, right? Then it'd be all right because, you know, in the summertime, it's not warm in the Bay Area. Everybody thinks it's warm in San Francisco in the summer, but it's not. It's not until September, October, November is when it's nice and warm. So I'm used to wearing sweatshirts in June over there, but it's freaking Bay Area. I mean, we're not in the Bay Area. We don't get the wonderful fruits and vegetables that the Bay Area has. And not to mention, they've been medically approved since 1996 for cannabis. And now they're a rec state. So what the hell?
We're a little behind, just a little.
Well, Devin, it's great to have you. See, he just goes right into the bad weather.
I mean, look at my hair today. It's not got the normal fluff and puff that I normally have. I mean, what's that tell you?
Oh, man. But let's see.
I'm drinking tea, a big cup of tea, like it's winter.
Devin, let's talk about what you're doing, man. You know, PACC. What are you guys doing now? What have you done, and what are you going to do, man? It's great to see you, brother. I mean, like I said, we see you all over the place. I can't wait to continue the professional relationship.
Yeah, we've been at multiple events that you've asked us to come to and support and speak at, and we've, you were the first person that we released our Cannabis to last year. Remember?
Yeah.
And that, we love working with you. So we're so happy that you joined our call today. Normally I'm much more flowery when I start the call, but I'm just annoyed about that weather.
No worries. I appreciate you guys having me on here, and I appreciate you guys coming out to the events and helping with those. So in the past, we started off as a group geared towards providing information and resources to the cannabis community in Pennsylvania. At the start of the program, I myself was looking to sign up as a patient, not only as a patient, but I wanted to get involved in the business side and get a career in the field. I realized there was little to no information available on the PA program, so that's really where this stemmed from. And then moving forward from that, we decided to start creating some resources, which is where our app developed from. So right now, our main focus is revamping that app, kind of making suitable upgrades to it and converting it to the Android platform so that everyone can be included in it. So moving forward, that's really our focus right now.
Can you talk about the app? I mean, what does it do? What can people expect from it, and where can they find it? I mean, is it already available on Apple?
It is, yes. So we're in beta right now on Apple. You can find it under PACC Community. It's a networking app similar to LinkedIn as well as Instagram, but we're kind of focusing on the communication aspect of it.
Nice.
There's a community live discussion feed, which allows people to create discussion posts, interact with the community, ask questions through the businesses, through other patients, network efficiently through that. There's also a business live feed, which will work similar to a story function, which will allow a business to showcase their product, changes in store hours, or highlight an event that they're doing. There's also an interactive app that a business can choose to pin their location to. There's different subcategories as far as brands, advocacy, dispensaries, grower processors, and so on. So it kind of just opens up the discussion and allows everyone to network throughout the app.
Oh, right. That's awesome. So what I'm hearing then, Devin, is first of all, I'm an Android guy, so let's get that moving.
Absolutely. Yep.
But second, what I'm hearing is your network is going to allow, let's just say CBD companies to advertise their events, unlike other social media networks where they get blacked out. That's what I'm hearing here. So your network will allow these companies to do what they need to do.
Correct. Absolutely.
Unlike Facebook and so on and so on.
Yeah, that's actually been
Very
a
cool.
pretty big struggle that we've seen so far. We can't get any advertising or promotion through Instagram or Facebook. Everything's denied because we are a cannabis-related company. So we're trying to open up that ability to everybody else to be able to market, promote, not necessarily product-wise in PA because of the laws, but more or less
Right.
brand out there, get their name out there, and be able to communicate with the patients on like a daily basis where it's an open discussion.
Very nice.
I
like
can
it.
actually give you an update on a social media platform that's coming out, and I can send an introduction via email for you to them. The platform is called Yamba, Yamba, and it's a social media platform where actually I have something here. Hold on. Let me just take some of the confidential stuff out, but then I can show you what this little thing looks like. It's basically it's going to be the newest social media platform with no blackout. I met the CEO. He's from Monaco, and he's getting ready. Can you see that cute little box up there?
Yep.
That's Yamba. And so now, if you look for Yamba on the internet, what happens is it kicks you right into your sign-in because they haven't officially launched. So this is obviously under the radar, but I'm bringing this up because I just signed some more paperwork so that we can have 3 different companies running through there. All 3 of our companies will run through there. And there's like the likes of Nike, Adidas, Will Smith, the Kardashians. I mean, it's a big, big network of lifestyle, sports, healthcare. It's like a mishmash of people. And how you do it is every time you hashtag, the viewer that's reviewing the contents on the platform, they put those hashtags in their little box. So that little box figure is important because you take your hashtag and put it in the box. So if you want to see cannabis, hashtag cannabis, everything that anybody hashtags cannabis under, you will now see. So
wow. Okay.
it's, you own your content. If there's a problem and you get sued by someone because you posted something, that's on you. But Yamba basically allows you to have the lights on all the time without being blacked out. So I can send that intro so you can start the process.
That would be great. Yeah.
Yeah, of getting into it, because I actually spoke about this when I was at Women Grow, because I was there talking about technology on Saturday in DC at the Leadership Summit. And this is a constant complaint of people. I mean, everybody we talk to, it happens all the time. I get blacked out all the time. And it's because I use the word cannabis.
It's ridiculous. It is.
It's just terrible.
Well, that's probably part of the reason you guys are doing what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Not only is the blackout affecting people as far as promoting, not allowing people to use hashtags is a major thing that's going on right now. And people are being removed altogether. So if they're promoting cannabis information, products, CBD products, they're seeing after they gain a substantial following and a regular communication within the community, their account will either get banned or completely revoked from Instagram or Facebook. So it's a huge setback to a company who's taken about a year or 2 or maybe even more to develop that following, and then they almost have to start from scratch. It's pretty effective impacts them a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen even with my own personal Facebook, and obviously all the companies are hooked up to, like Wayne, myself, and some of our other team members, depending upon the company. I've noticed with my Facebook, other than the fact that I get blacked out almost every other week, that I'm not even seeing people's feed. Like, I never see your feed, Devin, and you and I are friends on Facebook personally.
I've noticed that on Facebook and Instagram. Instagram has changed their algorithm. I don't know if anybody really knows that, but that's what I've heard. If you don't have post notifications on, you don't see about 70% of your followers. So I actually went through about a few weeks back on Instagram itself and put on all the notifications from dispensaries, growers, Affinity Bio Partners, Affinity Bio Patients, or Affinity Patient Advocacy. Yeah, sometimes
That's a tongue twister.
and that's what it's just difficult when they make it. It's almost like a navigation issue. You have to set up almost like a roadmap on these social networks to be able to communicate with the people that you follow.
Yeah, I mean, Wayne, it's almost like we need Bruce to go in and start doing this, almost like and he's probably getting ready to throw something
He's not,
at me.
yeah.
But I don't care. He needs to do his work.
He's not going to throw anything at you because he's here.
Yep. And there's no racing this weekend, so he won't be at the track with me.
Oh,
so.
good. That's good.
But yeah, like we need to look into this, because I've noticed with our Instagrams, we'll, as you've seen, we will share content across all of the pages, all of the accounts for the companies, because we share, even though they're different businesses, they still share the principal concept, which is helping unmet patient needs, right? And so when I share stuff for Cannabis and ABP and APA, sometimes I've noticed that people will like it on Cannabis versus Bio, and they follow both pages, right? Not everybody follows APA that follows those, but that must be what's happening. Because
only one of them is probably showing up for them.
Yeah, I was wondering, and some of them are friends, like, our friends from the Teamsters, Kristen Heidelbach, she'll like something on Cannabis, but then she doesn't see it on ABP for like days. And then all of a sudden I get a like on it from her from days ago. So, wow, that's really, I didn't even realize that. Thanks for sharing that with us.
Yeah, so that's a huge point that we wanted to cover through our app. Nothing's going to be cycled through that's not going in periodical order. So with Instagram, what I've noticed now, it's not really based off the timeline. It's based off of almost popularity, if that makes sense. So I'll see something posted from High Times, or I'll see something posted from Leafly as compared to smaller businesses trying to grow. And then a few days later, I'll see a post from a smaller company or a PA-based cannabis company, but the post was actually posted 5 days ago. But it'll be the first thing on my feed that morning. So there's a lot of things to work around, but we're hoping that app kind of bridges that gap and creates that space where you can communicate at that time.
I look forward to it.
I have a question for you about this. How you like a personal question, and I'm sure Bruce is going to put the flag up.
As long as you don't drop any F-bombs.
I will not say bad words. I'm not saying any bad words. I did say one earlier about the weather, but that was it.
You did say the Kardashians earlier.
Yeah, but that's not a curse word.
It is to Bruce. I got the old, wrap it up. That's the K word around here.
We should.
That's because I think he has a thing for one of them.
Oh, I was going to say,
Bruce.
We should be happy because Kim is a proponent of CBD. She had her CBD baby shower and was all over Instagram talking about it. So she's in our court. And whether or not you like her, whatever, at least she's in our court. For at least one thing. But I was going to ask you, because, obviously patients are going to be able to utilize this app. How do you feel about dispensary owners who are not necessarily patients interacting with those patients about products? How do you feel about that?
That's an interesting question. I'm glad that you brought that up. It's interesting to see business owners or dispensary workers who aren't patients. I think the dynamic is a little different as far as like the feedback that they give or the information that they give to the patients based on the products, since they haven't tried them themselves necessarily. But I think they do a pretty good job from what I've seen based off other patient feedback, but it's not direct experience, so it's probably a lot harder for them to give that direction. That is a very interesting question, and I've seen that throughout a lot of the dispensaries in Pennsylvania so far. I think there is a gap when it comes to that, since there is no firsthand experience with that product. I think it makes it difficult on both ends for the patient as well as the business, but it definitely impacts the patient at the end of the day.
Right.
Yeah, I've seen some stuff. Obviously, we're in all the patient, forums, because we are actual patients, and obviously we work in the space to help patients just like you guys do. But one of the things that has kind of irritated me is that I see them make comments about products that they don't have firsthand experience with, and they'll contradict another patient's feedback regarding another product that they don't happen to like for some reason,
Is it
right?
their product that
No,
they're
no.
promoting? That's
Mm-mm. It's just some ancillary, like let's just say like grassroots versus, terrapin. I'm just picking, I'm not saying they were talking about, I'm just picking that up.
right, right.
And say that this person has a preference for grassroots versus terrapin. And a patient goes in there and says, hey, this terrapin hash haze or whatever worked for me. That dispensary owner operator will go in there and object and say, oh, but I think grassroots is better. But you're not a patient. I mean, you don't even have data to support it. It's not like you're capturing
That's what I was just
data
going to say.
from
It
us,
all goes back to data.
right? Cannabis.
Somebody has to collect it, and then everybody can reference that information.
Yeah, I see that a lot myself. I actually work for a dispensary as well, but I can't discuss that
Right.
with ICC based on their policy.
Right.
But I do see that on a daily basis in the dispensary. I see a lot of different opinions based on companies as far as grassroots versus terrapin,
Right.
or let's say Alera or another company. But then again, at the end of the day, every cannabis medicine works differently for every individual patient.
That's true.
So I don't agree with bashing the companies per se based off medicine and or saying this works better than this, because at the end of the day, it's what works for the patient, and that's really what matters. So I think everybody should collectively work together to, like you said, collect that data and relay that information for what works for the patient, regardless of who's producing it, or what they stand for. Because at the end of the day, it's about the patient and it's about them getting the relief that they need. So yeah, I think that it's a very interesting question. I'm glad that you brought that up.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I appreciate you answering, honestly, because this is something that Wayne and I talk about, obviously offline, because we are helping these patients through APA. And so if somebody comes to us and says, well, I saw something in a group and it's kind of contradicting, how do you guys feel about it? Because you're patients. So, and we don't know everything. We know what
none of us do.
Our medical cannabis issues. We know what works for us, and we know what we are hearing, from other patients we're helping, plus what we're doing from a research standpoint, But I think once we launch, we're doing that survey with CCC on how people feel about their participation in the Pennsylvania cannabis program. I mean, it goes down to dispensary feedback, to product feedback, to doctor feedback, to how they feel altogether about the program and the inclusion-exclusion criteria, if you will, to be able to be in that program. So we're very close to getting ready to launch that. I would say within the next week, that's gonna happen. That will go out, and we'll see what's going on, and we'll get the data and push.
Let's talk about. I'm thinking.
Let's talk about that. I'm interested in that.
I'm thinking 2 weeks. We're probably going to push that to after the 4th.
Because
we have to build, we have to test, but it is coming. It's going to be interesting, Devin, as you mentioned. And we'll talk more about that offline, I think, if that's okay. I'd like to hear more about what you guys are doing for patients. I forgot to activate Alexa. I have no idea how long we've been on the phone. Minutes. Oh, that's not bad. Okay. Good. Because I had to unplug everything because of that. We lost electricity for about 10 or 15 minutes. The internet was slow getting up, and I had to get things done. So I unplugged all my smart devices to try to, get us strong enough. Yeah. Anyway. Because I do try to run a smart home, it is fun. But anyway, Devin, I want to talk more about, it was a segue into what are you guys doing for the patients? Obviously, you have, all the events and, you're sharing education and the application, of course. But what is your focus on patients? I know we talked prior to recording patient registrations that you're about to do with Cannabis Docs, I think.
Yeah. So
Please talk about that.
June 30th coming up. We do have an event co-hosted with Cannabis Docs. It's going to be in Easton, Pennsylvania, at a space called Common Space Easton. So we're opening that space up to patients and potential patients who are looking to not only look or learn more about the medical cannabis program in PA, but who are interested in registering and signing up and being certified by a physician. So we'll have physicians on site there to actually conduct the evaluations and provide the recommendations needed for the program. We'll also have some vendors set up that will have more information on companies in PA, whether it be CBD products, whether it be dispensary teams, so on and so forth. We're going to open that space for networking, and we're also going to have a CBD hors d'oeuvre tasting.
That's right.
So we're going to have a little bit of everything. Yeah, a little bit of everything. I'm actually going to bring my brother out, who's a very skilled cook. So we're going to have a little live demo in the kitchen, and he's going to show how it's infused, and then they're going to get to be able to sample the items as well.
Do we know what is this top secret? I'm about to ask what is he going to make?
We haven't nailed down a menu yet. We have some idea. We're going to do some finger sandwiches, small sliders, and something along those.
Interesting.
My old job, Cali Burrito, I was the front of house manager there. I actually signed a deal for them, kind of networked and brought that deal together. They started infusing one of their hot sauces with hemp-derived CBD oil. So we'll have that for a tasting available. We'll have a lot of things in the works right now.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I'll look forward to that. June 30th. I think I'm around. I'd like to attend.
You should definitely come out. We're going to have some patient education as well. We try to focus on that throughout our events. So if you're wanting to demonstrate Cannabis or talk about what you guys do, that's open as well.
All right. Yeah, man. That's a Sunday.
Yeah.
June 30. Very good. What time does it start?
It starts at 11 and we'll be running all the way till 4 p.m.
Very good. Very good. Thank you very much. Okay. I was just trying to, segue into some patient help and, what you guys do to assist patients, because we do, a bunch of stuff through affinity patient advocacy. I can never say advocacy correctly.
Right now.
But what else would you like to share? I know, Bruce is keeping an eye on the clock. I didn't activate Alexa today, as I mentioned, but what else would you like to share before we have to get going?
Sure. We have it in the early stages right now, but we're planning a small docu-series involving patients who are willing to participate, as well as businesses. So we're reaching out right now through the forums and through our community to find willing patients and willing advocacy groups, businesses. If you guys want to be involved, we're going to be going around the state within the next couple of months, hopefully with a video team to put together a small series showcasing how patients have received relief through the program, their thoughts on it, kind of like what you guys are doing through your study and how they feel about the program, but more on like a personal basis through their daily lives to kind of showcase how cannabis has helped them.
Oh, that will be
nice.
That's
awesome. When, because Devin, that original fundraiser event that we were going to do, that symposium in July, that we've now moved to October, because I have to be in Barcelona in July, right? Right after where that event would have happened. But we're going to do that event in October, most likely in Philadelphia, and it'll be a pretty big East meets West Coast type event. Depending upon where you are with your documentary, I am sure that we could have some of the people that we have that we're bringing to come and speak and talk about various things. They could probably want to participate in your documentary.
That would be great. Yeah, the more participants, the better. We're trying to showcase a wide variety of patients as well as businesses to show all sides. We're not trying to be one-sided with the documentary. We want to be open and honest about how the program is here, how the medicine is, how it's helping people. We're trying to give full disclosure on people's feedback.
Yeah, and you know what? Once you have the skeleton of documentary kind of figured out, let me know, because I'm a board member for the American Society of Cannabis Medicine. They have an Emmy award-winning, believe it or not, film crew that produces documentaries for various things. It could be racing, like bike racing, track race, It could be sports. It could be all, you know what I mean? They have this film company, and so they're pushing out a lot of documentaries. And with the ASCM, we're working on trying to get cannabis scheduled for research, obviously, purposes. So it's not so hard for us to do things because it's always handcuffed, trying to do studies. So they have a vested interest in this kind of stuff. So I'd be happy to talk to you about what could they do to help support this.
Definitely, yeah. I appreciate you offering that connection, and every connection that you offer so far. It's definitely helpful. It's hard to meet everybody in the state on my own or around as a proponent of cannabis, but yeah, I'd definitely be open to that. I'd love to work together with you guys on that.
And I was thinking we should have had a sweatshirt. We should have gotten a sweatshirt from you the last time we saw you. Because
I do need some PACC gear.
We would wear it. We wear the stuff that everybody gives us. Even down when I was at Grow, I had a certain pin on besides my Teamsters pins, and somebody was asking me, "Oh, who is that? Go Fire? What is that?" And I'm like, "Oh, Go Fire. We work with them." So we're happy to wear, and we're going to eventually have some swag for Cannabis, of course. That we're gonna start pushing out there for people, because the Cannabis so
throwing it around.
Everybody wants something that has him on it, and even at the event they go, "Did you bring the Cannabis with you?" And I'm like, "No."
Just Kelly and his cell phone.
That's how it works. He doesn't parade around. I think we need to get a costume or something.
I'm not wearing a costume.
For Bruce to wear it.
Yeah, okay. Bruce. Uh-oh.
He said, "No way." Not me.
No. Yeah, it would have to be pretty wide.
Yeah, but June 30th, Wayne, if you make it out, I can give you guys some gear. We do have some new pins as well, which are easy to display.
Awesome.
Nice. Would love that, man. Yeah, I'd like to promote your company. I love what you're doing. And again, like I said, I look forward to all of us doing more things, but I am getting the old wrap it up. How many minutes has it been? Nearly 30?
Yeah, almost 26.
That's not bad. We're doing good. Devin, I think we had a good conversation. I appreciate sharing everything that you're doing and what you've done. I mean, great work. I love our connection and what we're going to do together. I look forward to June 30th. Everybody come out who watches this video, and man, we'll go from here. But
definitely. Thank you guys for having me. Something else to look forward to before we sign off. It's still in the works. I don't have a set date yet, but we're looking to host an expo and or a festival in Pennsylvania. So we're looking to make that a yearly thing. So if you guys want to be involved in that, we'd love that.
Yeah.
My daughter will play at that. My daughter's will play at that. Check them out.
Definitely.
Rucksuck Band, I think it is .com. They're groovy, psychedelic, kind of crazy stuff.
Send me that link. I'll definitely look it over.
I will. Yeah, they're a touring band. You'll dig them, I think. Definitely. But anyway, CDP, take us out of here.
Yeah, we're doing pretty well today without structure.
And I didn't get hit with anything. I think the weather got us all down. Yeah, even Bruce.
Thank you so much for coming on today and talking with us. It's always great to chat with you, Devin, and have some time just to speak and catch up briefly. And we look forward to all the exciting things you guys are working on, and the things that we're working on together, and all the things that we're going to end the year off in a strong manner. So thank you so much again for being on today.
Definitely. Thank you guys again for having me. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely. Take care, brother.
Yeah,
see y'all. All right. Bye. All right. I think that went well. We're still recording.